don't care. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And the fanciest things couldn't make me believe in us. I'm here for pleasure, so don't you put pressure on me to give into us.
Hey everyone, it's Paige. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys all so much for watching last week's video. It went so much better than I expected it to. We are now at 52 subscribers, so thank you all so much. Please keep it coming. And right now, my last video is at $3.99. Who knows, by the time I post this video, it might be higher. But please keep sharing. Thank you guys so much for the support I'm receiving. I did not expect it to go this well this early. So anyways, so for today's video, I asked you guys if you guys would like to see my everyday makeup look, makeup routine, and that's what you guys decided. So that's what we're gonna do. I wanted to make a look that's more useful to everyone. Not everyone's gonna walk out the house with gems all over their face, so that's why I decided to go for this one today. I already did my eyebrows, as you can see, just because you guys have already seen what I kind of do with my eyebrows, but also might be a surprise in store. Who knows? Anyways, if you want to see my everyday routine, then keep on watching. So what I didn't show last video is my actual moisturizing of my skin. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that on camera. So of course you know what I use. Pond's. So just take a little scoop, about that much, and I put it in my hands, and I just take that all over the face. Be careful on your eyes. I'm definitely going to be one of those old people with crow's feet, I already know. Okay, so now that the skin is nice and prepped, you know what our first step is always is to prime the lid. As you guys saw from last video, we're going to go in with the Urban Decay primer. Also just want to say I did my nails, y'all. I know the last video I had glue in my nails. My nails aren't ashy. I just had glue in my nails. I tried dip powder for the first time. Well, not the first time. Last week I did it for the first time, and that was a disaster. Nail salons, please open back up. I'm just gonna go in with this applicator and just apply this primer all over the lid. Just gonna take my finger and blend that out. Typically I do this before my brows, but I decided to do my brows first today. Once again, you want to make sure that you blend this in as best as you can because you want it to dry down as smooth and as streak-free as possible. So next we're going to go into eyeshadow. Like I said in the last video, one of the products I use almost every time I do my makeup is the Kylie Jenner bronze palette. Like I can't see any of the names anymore. I'm going to take those same colors I took in the last video and place them all over my crease. I'm going to take this shade first into the crease, starting at the outer corner, blending in. I like to go in with browns because it looks like you're bronzing more than you're putting actual eyeshadow on. I asked you guys to ask me questions on Instagram. I got 2 questions. So I'm going to answer those questions. Shout out to you if you asked me a question. Thank you so much for interacting with me. So the first question was how and when I got into makeup. And so I want to say first and foremost that I've always been very creative. My dad was really artistic. My mom was artistic, always. And although I like to fool myself when I was younger, telling everyone that I was a tomboy, that's not the truth. I'm very into being, you know, I guess what's an old-fashioned definition of girly. I loved makeup. I loved dressing cute and girly and whatnot. Don't know if that's politically correct anymore, but so I believe the first time I was allowed to wear makeup to school was probably when I was in 7th grade, so it was 12 when I was in middle school. That was the first time I was able to wear it at school, but I've always loved, you know, like those Bratz dolls where you can like, the big heads where you can put their makeup on and do their hair. I've always played with dolls. I've always done their makeup. I always went on myscene.com and played those video games where you could change up their makeup. Like, I was always into makeup. I couldn't even tell you a age, to be honest. I guess when I was in 7th grade I was allowed to wear makeup, and I think I don't know if I got some makeup for Christmas or if I got some from like a relative. And the first makeup looks that I used to do was I would do like half my eye like copper, like really pigmented copper, and the other half like really pigmented like turquoisey blue color. Like, it was a mess looking back, but I thought it was so cool. And I also had colored contacts in middle school and high school that were like so absurdly unnatural, but I thought it was. So I feel like I've just always kind of been into makeup, and I just got progressively better. I would just sit at home when I wasn't doing anything. I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna try a wing liner today. And after many times of failing, I finally perfected everything, and then just kind of continued and blossomed. So thanks for that question, my favorite troll. Okay, so after you've applied that color, we're gonna go in with Hematite, that fluffy BH Cosmetics D5 brush, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to be a bit more like hairless in terms of if it gets on the lid, because this is our everyday look and I kind of like a bronzy look for my everyday. So I'll take it in the crease, but sometimes I'll just kind of just rub it all over. So that's about it that I do for eyeshadow. And then I'll sometimes put on a wing, I think for the purpose of this video, to make it more useful to everybody. You don't need to wear wings. So on a typical day, I tend not to use foundation just because I don't like looking unnatural on my everyday. So the first thing I'm going to do, as usual, is take my Morphe setting spray all over. As opposed to putting on foundation, I'm going to go straight in with the concealer. As you can see, I don't really have dark circles, but I definitely do have like lines here that I like to brighten up just to kind of hide those. So I'm going to take my Maybelline Fitme concealer in the shade Wheat once again, and I'm going to put that on all the little places under our eye, and I like to fan it out. This is also going to serve as our foundation. On the forehead, over the eyebrows, I like to do that. On the chin, on our jawline, and sometimes I'll take it up a little bit like that just so I can blend it around my mouth. So we're going to take a dampened beauty sponge, beauty blender. This is the Real Techniques one, and we're just going to blend everything out. You really want to blend all of your concealer out before it dries down, because it makes it a lot harder to blend out, but also it can oxidize into a different color before you spread it out so you could look blotchy. Make sure I blend over my eyebrows, just because if you take pictures of your face, especially close up, you'll see that there's missing areas above your eyebrows. So now that concealer is taken care of, we're going to go in and with our powder. I'm going to go in with our Maybelline Fitme powder. I've been using this lately and I kind of like it. It's powder in the shade of your skin tone, so it's not too bright. If you want to brighten your under eyes, you can use a translucent powder maybe, or a brightening powder. This is in the shade light medium, but I like to use this one especially for my everyday look, so that's not too far off from my natural skin. So today, as opposed to using like a brush to apply it, we're gonna go ahead and use the bottom of our beauty sponge, pack it in, and kind of just place it wherever you just blended your concealer. This is really the most powder that I use, and I don't really place powder anywhere else, but sometimes I'll place it in my smile lines just because they tend to crease, or maybe just underneath my nose. While that sits, I'm going to go ahead and start bronzing. I'm using that same palette I used from last time, this Contour Effects by City Color, using the bronze shade. Can you tell which one I use the most? Because I can't. I'm going to use that Real Techniques contour brush, number 206 brush, and then again in circular motions going to apply my bronzer. You really want to apply your bronzer to the perimeters of your face, and I like to blend it into my hairline just to give it a more seamless transition. I'm going to take the back of my beauty blender just to make sure my bronzer isn't too intense, and kind of pull it down my neck so that, again, even transition. Pull that into your hairline. And if you want to, you can put a little bit of the powder just underneath where you're bronzing to give you a more hollow cheekbone. And I also want to make sure that my concealer and bronzer are seamlessly blended on the forehead. I'm going to just take a fluffy brush, any brush works. I'm going to sweep away all the excess powder underneath my eyes. The other question I got on Instagram is powder foundation or liquid foundation better, or both? I personally have never used powder foundation, so I don't want to tell you to use one or the other. I always use liquid foundation just because, like I've said this countless times, I like looking dewy. I'm not the most matte type of person. I feel like with powder you tend to look more matte, and I feel like with liquid you have a bit more control over if you want to be really matte, really dewy, and I feel like you can also blend it better. I don't like my skin looking dry. Even after I put powder to set things, it bothers me just looking because it looks like I'm cakey, but I personally will stray far away from the powder. My skin is dry enough. I don't like really using powder too much. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with blush. I have a couple of options for blush. If this is like really just a on-the-go look and you want to look dewy or whatnot, I like to use a cream blush. I have this little sample size that came in a Birchbox. The shade is Abu, so it's called Peak Abu. And it's like a shimmery peachy color, and I really like it. Actually, I'll just use it and apply with my finger, and that's if I'm like really on the go and I really just want to look naturally blushing. But as for today, typically I'll go for my go-to ColourPop blush. Like in the last video, I will mix the blush and the highlighter, and then just smile and apply it to the apples like so, and then, but per usual, a little bit across the bridge of the nose. Next, I'm going to go in with those same colors again on my crease. Put that underneath my eye like I've done in the last video. Next, I'm going to go in with the highlighter, and today the one I'm using is the Urban Decay Naked Illuminated highlighter in the shade Aura. So this is what it looks like. There's 3 shades of this, I believe, at least the last time I checked. And there's like a more like pearly, champagne-y color, so for more fair skin tones, a pink color, and then there's a bronze one that is absolutely gorgeous, but definitely would not look like a highlighter on my skin. So for our beautiful brown skin girls, that highlighter is so pretty. I love it. It also, in the bottom of the packaging, comes with a little brush. So if you're ever on the go, you can use that brush, or if you don't have a highlighter brush, it can definitely be used. So I am using a Real Techniques brush. I believe this is a powder brush, but I always use it for my highlighter. Go ahead and apply that to our cheekbone, our forehead. I like using a pink highlighter when I'm trying to look more natural. So on my everyday, I'll tend to go for a pink one. And then obviously down the nose, and that will also pair nicely with your blush on the nose. Okay, so the face is all done. So we're gonna go in with our setting spray. And then we're also gonna go in with the Pixi Skin Treats Glow Mist. Again, thank you, Troll, for the suggestion. I actually really like it. I like the finish it gives you. It's really dewy and natural, and it's not like too oily, but it does give you that shine. Bring a bit more brightness to the eyes just because they are just brown. I'm going to take my highlighter, the Makeup Review one that I used last time, Pearl Dust, love it. I'm going to take this and I'm going to wet this BH Cosmetics number 6 brush and use some setting spray to wet it. And then I'm just going to pick up some of the pigment and place that on the inner corner of my eyes just to brighten things up a bit. We're going to apply our mascara, and we're going to use the Lash Voluminous Lash Paradise by L'Oreal. This is a duplicate for Better Than Sex Mascara by Too Faced. That one's like $20 some, and this is probably 10, I think. Okay, so that's the finished product on the face. Last thing, obviously, what you have to do is your lips. So I'm going to take this lip pencil. It's by the brand Prescriptives. I really don't know where this is from. I think this is my mom's old lip pencil, but it's my favorite lip pencil ever. And sometimes I'll overline ever so slightly just to give your mouth like a nice pout. And then after that, I'll take, once again, a clear lip gloss, but this one has a little pink tone to it. This is the shade Bubblegum, and this is by the NK Makeup. Like I said, I get this from the beauty supply store, but I also have the link down in the bio where you can order it off of Amazon. Let's take that all over. And I like this because it pairs really nicely with this lip liner. So that's the final product. This is my everyday makeup look. Sometimes I'll go in a little less product, a little bit more product. I did not use a foundation once again for this. There's one palette. If you don't have an eyeshadow palette and you do have a bronzer, you can literally just use your bronzer in the same place that I used my eyeshadow. So yeah, this is Paige Georgette Everyday. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for coming back. Let's keep it going. Please keep sharing with your friends. Please keep sharing on your Instagram. I appreciate you all so much. And yes, if you like this video, please hit the like button down below. And please comment anything you want to say. Ask me. Tell me if you like this look or not. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I post a new video. And make sure you subscribe to my channel before you leave if you haven't already. The first video we got 52 subscribers. I did not really expect this video to go so well, so I'm very pleased, and I'm so thankful for everyone who's supporting me. So again, subscribe before you leave. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
I don't care.